Rick, you've seen LA twice already this season. What do you need to see from your group against them particularly?
I think patience. I mean, they're a well-structured team. Just patience. You know, don't worry about their game. Worry about our game. I think that's something that was pointed out, you know, yesterday and today for us is worried about our game, but also know the fact how they want to play. And they're a good hockey team, and we just got to make sure that we play our game. And I think that's really the message tonight.
You guys have been so good to start lately. What do you think's been the difference? What's contributed to that?
I think the players being ready to play. You know, they're ready to go. I don't really have to say too much. I think it's just this year. You know, especially the last bunch of games. But throughout the year, I think we're a fast starting team, which is nice. So I got to give the players credit on that.
Rick, you're talking about our game. How would you define that?
Well, I think when we play fast, you don't let teams in their structure. You know, we want to advance the puck. Let's go. I think once we start to hold it, massage the puck, start regrouping the puck, I think, you know, I'm not saying it's not our game. I don't think it's an advantage for us to play that way. I'd rather just try to break team structure before they get into it. And if they are in structure, which is going to happen, you know, have a couple game plans how to break it through, and it might be a chip, or it might be a hard rim, and then you got to win the battles from there.
Your team's been playing some great defensive hockey as of late. You talk about taking away speed in the neutral zone. You talk about taking away inside space. What are some of the other things that you guys focus on as a coaching staff in terms of what you want to see from your players?
Well, I just like players skating forward to defend. I'm backwards skating to me is, you know, you're on your heels. You know, there's times when you have to backwards skate, but I think for the most part, I like everybody skating forward, even D at sometimes. When you're connected as five, and you're gapping up and you're skating forward, it's hard to get, you know, it's hard to break through that. Most times when teams get in trouble is when you back skate and you open up lanes.
You know, one of the other things you talk about, particularly when it comes to the short man, you'd like to know, the goaltender likes to know where the shot's coming from.
Yeah.
Is that also carried over in terms of your defensive play as well? I mean, you're not seeing many of those cross-ice passes, backdoor type things. You've been doing a great job of taking that away as well.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've really, especially of late, where we're eliminating those cross-ice passes. Actually, Pods the other day, he was an excellent. There was a cross-ice pass. If he's not there, it could be a tap, and he intercepted the puck. And when you get a young guy doing that, then you know, hey, like, you know, obviously it's been taught and they're listening, because that was a big play. Pods, as a, you know, basically for me as a first-year guy, being in that position.
Rick, JT said yesterday that he's loved everything that you guys have accomplished since August, and there had to be a lot of work. I'm just wondering, as a head coach, A, to hear it from one of your leadership group. Secondly, if the dominoes fall a certain way tonight, you're going to be in. And I know it's just the first step, Rick, but can you allow yourself a moment tonight, if that happens, to maybe just take a pause and say, you know what, we've really done something special here?
I think after the game, if that happens, you know, I think it's nice to recognize it and for the players. But I think talking to the players this summer, you know, the way they thought, the way the season would go, and how they want to change the narrative around here, I don't think that's they're saying that's not enough, right? Which is a good thing. Whether, you know what I'm saying?
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 Not being satisfied. So yeah, you take a breath, and you know it's great to recognize it. But I think, you know, you got to get back on cloud nine, you know, or back to earth, and just keep chipping away. That's just the way we are around here. It's more even keel, even though, you know, you got to, you know, give the players a lot of credit. What's going on? I think you still have to make sure that you march along.
You go on the road next week. Lecker-Mackey's here. He's in Abbotsford. Is there any thought or plan to take him on the trip? Do you?
I have not talked to Patrick or anybody about that. No, I haven't. No, just.
Rick, Drew Doughty's still chewing 25, 26 minutes a night, sometimes 28, 29 at age 34. I know you've seen him a ton in different capacities over the years. How do you knock him off of his game?
Yeah.
How do you? What's the way to do that? And what kind of a challenge is that to do?
Well, if you look at his play, his career, I don't think a lot of people know the answer to that. I mean, I've seen him, and he's one of my favorite players over the years to watch, and I really respect him. His playoffs, I watch him in the playoffs mostly over the years, the last 50. Like, he's just a guy. He's a great position. He's offensively, he plays a hard game. You know, it's hard to knock him off his game, and he's pretty funny out there. He actually gets other guys off their game because he chirps, but it's not a malicious chirp. He just knows how to talk and game management. Like, he's really good at that.
It seems like too that not only him, you know, to do that, you've got to be able to manage yourself, not on the ice, off the ice, all that whatsoever. But it seems like too, if you're going up against very few people are able to get a clean shot at him. Very few forecheckers. What is it that you see that he's able to elude and evade and all that?
Well, I think his experience, like if you look at him, very rarely he gets even caught out where he's exhausted. You know, hey, Doughty's exhausted, you got him. He manages the game really well. He's one of those guys that knows how to manage the game. He knows when it's time to go and when it's time not to go. I think, you know, especially young defensemen, 23, 24, they're still trying to find that. You know, they get caught out there or they push the envelope. He knows when it's to go and when not to go. And that's just experience. That's, you know, 2-time Stanley Cup winner, you know, all the trophies he won. I think he just knows how to manage the game.
Lindholm in the lineup tonight?
No.
And is he day-to-day?
Yeah, day-to-day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, day-to-day.
I saw the reaction of your kid on social media to your dad.
You know, it was a special moment for her, for sure.
You've been here long enough. Are you starting to really feel the buzz about what's going on here in March, JT, whether it's on the ice or on the street? There seems to be a real collective buzz in town about where you guys are going and where you hope to go.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's a passionate fan base. You know, I've talked about how, you know, we wouldn't want that any other way. And, you know, this is the fun time of year, not just for us, for the fans in the city. And, you know, they haven't had that in a while here. So it's, you know, it's going to be a fun time. You know, we really got to cliche try to like stay in the moment here, but you know, when that time comes, obviously it's going to be a much anticipated time for all of us.
Can you take anything from the bubble experience? It was such an odd postseason, and some guys say, you know, the intensity level wasn't there because the crowds weren't there. Can you take anything from that experience?
We had some special times as a team. You know, that's the only thing you're really going to take away. I mean, the intensity is in the game, but there's just no emotion of the building, obviously. That's a gigantic part of the playoffs.
Generational talent. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.